And for the last word before the Buccaneers Dolphins kick it off, let's go down to the field. Pam Oliver is with the Bucs head coach Tony Dungy.
All right, thanks a lot, Dick. And Tony, obviously these teams very similar, so what do you think the difference maker will be today?
Well, I think with the weather, you got to definitely take care of the football, and the team that runs and stops the run the best probably will win.
Thank goodness you got that running game going. Tell me about your young quarterback. What's critical for him today?
Well, Sean's doing fine. He's just got to protect the ball and make good decisions, and hopefully we can get the run going to help him out.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. Thanks, Tony. Let's go back upstairs to Dick.
All right, Pam, thank you very much. And it'll be moments before Sean King gets a chance as you look at the weather, and rain is still forecast, although it is stopped right now. 73 degrees and balmy in overcast skies. The Miami Dolphins, who come in the game 10-3, looking to protect a one-game lead over the New York Jets in the AFC East, will get the ball first. And the Buccaneers, who are 8-5 on the year, will kick off.
Dick, you may not get a lot of offense and a lot of show today, but if you love football, if you love good football, you're going to love today's football game.
There is J.J. Johnson, who will be back there along with Autry Denson, as Martin Gramatica kicks off for the 70th time of the season, and it's a kick into the end zone, and Autry Denson returns for the Dolphins up to the 20-yard line, and a good return close to the 25. So Jay Fiedler takes over at quarterback. He has not thrown an interception in the last 84 pass attempts over 5 games. First, let's bring you the offensive line, and they have been solid with Webb, Dixon, Ruddy, Donnelly, especially the rookie Todd Wade at right tackle. Lamar Smith having a tremendous year at running back. Rob Conrad, the blocker. Tony Martin back in the starting lineup. Aronde Gadsden, the other wide receiver to start, and Hunter Goodwin is the tight end. Leslie Shepard on injured reserve with knee surgery.
Didn't take long for the Bucs to walk up an 8-man.
From the 24-yard line, Lamar Smith gets about 3 yards, with Derek Brooks making the stop for the Buccaneers. Matt mentioned both teams strength the defensive unit. Up front for Tampa Bay, Marcus Jones and Warren Sapp, 2 of the top 6 sack leaders, with McFarland and Chidi Ahanotu. Brooks, Jamie Duncan, and Shelton Quarles, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Rondé Barber and Donnie Abraham, who's playing hurt at corner, John Lynch, and Damian Robinson at safety. Second down and 6, and here is Smith. And Robinson will bring him down about 2.5 yards shy of the first down. Good tackle by Robinson.
When you look at what this Miami Dolphin offense is all about, Jay Fiedler right there is the guy who has done a very good job with being smart. You saw no interceptions, 84 pass attempts, good decision maker. That's what they want him to be. He's come along as a quarterback. He's not like he's a stiff. The guy can make some plays, but they don't ask him to do that. They ask him to be a field general, and that's what he's been.
2 tight ends on 3rd down and 1. Dolphins near the bottom in 3rd down conversions this year. And it'll be a pass play on 3rd and 1, and the pass to O.J. McDuffie is caught for the first down, and they make it by a yard. Shelton Quarles on the coverage. And Quarles is shaken up. So this linebacking unit, which lost Hardy Nickerson, who had been around as the middle linebacker, now Quarles is hurt, and Al Singleton, another linebacker, out with a knee injury. And we're going to take a break right now. No score in the opening minutes here in Miami.
Every year at this time, folks at Southwest
could you possibly want?
Get 6.25% APY. Call 8.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
You're going to watch Shelton Quarles, and I want to show you something. See, knees were not made for playing football. You're going to watch this knee. It's just going to get caught right there, and then it just gets hyperflexed. That's it's not a very comfortable thing. I want to show you patience. So many people talk about patience. Watch O.J. McDuffie. Watch the patience of letting it develop. Just lets people clear. He has an understanding of where he is and sits right down for the first down. It's good experience, but better patience, Dick.
There is Quarles over on the sideline, a 2-year starter at outside linebacker who played in the Canadian League. And Jeff Gooch has replaced him at linebacker. There is Jamie Duncan, the man who replaced Hardy Nickerson at middle linebacker.
One thing that all these linebackers do very well in Tampa is they all run very well to the football. And I happen to believe that they're one of the best coached defenses in our league.
1st and 10 at the 37 for the Dolphins. Fiedler on the pitch to Smith, trying to go outside, nothing there, and a loss on the play. And Chidi Ahanotu with great penetration and a loss of 3 yards.
That's well done, very well done. And see, what this defense is all about is about discipline. Everybody knowing where they have to be. Watch Chidi Ahanotu. He knows he has to keep outside leverage, so he takes Todd Wade on perfectly, gets rid of him with his hands, and makes the play. Everything on defense is controlled from gap to gap. And when you're well coached and disciplined, defense plays flawlessly.
2nd down and 13 at the 34-yard line. And Fiedler with play action has time, and he drills it, bobbled and caught by Tony Martin. And he'll be short of a 1st down by about a yard. So Martin, who suffered a foot injury in the 2nd week of the season, returning to the starting lineup with Shepard on the sideline.
This is nicely done by Martin, who's able to sit down in the zone. And the reason he can sit down is because there was time.
And the play run, Jay Fiedler on the quarterback sneak. And the referee today, Bill Carollo.
Position.
No play is the call, and the crowd disapproves.
Well, he said they weren't in position. The officials weren't in position. That's a good job by the offense of going on a quick count. Heck, they caught us. They got up there to the line of scrimmage, and bang, the ball came right away. Look, everybody has to be set. Not only does the players have to be set, but the officials also have to be set.
So the crowd echoes their reaction. Dave Wanstead's Dolphins still face 3rd down and 1. 3 tight ends into the game, and the handoff is to Lamar Smith. And Smith may not have it. He does not. He is about a half a yard short.
And you're going to hear some booing in the crowd, and the reason is because Tampa Bay didn't stop them. The officials stopped them. By not being in position, they took the previous play, they took it away from him. It became a non-play.
So it is 4th down, and they're going to look. It is 4th down, and they won't even have a measurement, and less than a yard.
Right now, this is going to let you know what they've won. They're going to kick the ball. Yeah, that's right.
In a game like this, you're not going to take any chances and lose the ball in your own territory.
Well, because he has a chance also, Dick, to gain some field position here out of this next series. The chance to pin him back down inside and try to gain some more position.
So Carl Williams will go back, and Matt Turk will punt for the Miami Dolphins. So the crowd a little ornery right now because of the 1st down that they thought they had, but not a good kick by Turk, and it is picked up on the run by Williams and run out of bounds, and a penalty flag is thrown.
You're going to have a hold against Tampa Bay, Dick.
That'll erase good field position here for them.
It's going to depend on when it happened, before or after the kick. Bill Carollo will let us know. If it's a hold before the kick, well, they're going to talk it through right now. Afterwards, they'll tack it on, or take it away, rather. You see Bill Carollo, one of the players are talking, he said, get out of here.
He is ignoring the players, and many of them pointing as you look at Wanstead and Tony Dungy. Oh, look at now a personal foul on a face mask called against the Dolphins. So that changes everything.
As I look at this and they sort this thing out, I go back to that 3rd down where the Dolphins did pick up the 1st. And you got 2 unhappy coaches, one because of mistakes that they could possibly take away.
There are 2 fouls on the play, holding on the receiving team while the kick was in the air. Okay. Personal foul, face mask on the kicking team, On the return, number 27. By rule, the ball will be placed at the receiving team's foul. First down, timeout.
Arturo Freeman, and now both coaches have a lot to say as they finally did sort it out. We'll take a timeout.
Is it okay?
Sure. All new holiday episodes starting at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
I want you to watch right over here. This is where they're going to call the hold. They didn't really give us a number, but there's one right there on the top. Now watch him roll right through that thing. That's Nate Webster. The flag's going to fall right on top of him, and I believe that's the one they caught. That's the first one. Now the second, the penalty is going to be working right down here, obviously. Arturo Freeman 27 on Floyd Young 31, and that's a good call right in his kisser.
And that's where Williams caught the ball, where they place it at the 24 on the offsetting penalties. So first down, and Warwick Dunn, who gained 210 yards, establishing a career high last week, gets the call as Sean King, who has managed to lead the team to 5 wins and 6 starts despite being a non-prolific touchdown passer. Up front, Pete Pearson, Randall McDaniel, Jeff Christie, Frank Middleton, and Jerry Wunsch. Dunn, Keyshawn Johnson, and Jacquez Green. The receivers, Dave Moore, the tight end. Following the gain of 4, 2nd and 6. And here is Dunn. And Dunn picking up a couple. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 coming up as Darrell Gardner made the stop. The Miami Dolphins with Taylor, Gardner, Bowens, and Nixon. And of course you'll see Trace Armstrong come in for pass rushing. Robert Jones, Zach Thomas, and Derek Rogers are the linebackers, and an outstanding secondary led by Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain, with Brian Walker and Brock Marion at the safeties. And Trace Armstrong, who has 15.5 sacks. First in the conference, comes in. Pressure on Sean King. And now still under siege. But King, who can escape, gets tripped up, but gets the first down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's the best I've seen him move, Dick. When I watch Sean King, I don't see a lot of escapability. I see a confident guy. I see a guy who knows the offense. I shouldn't say real confident, because I think since the Chicago game, as I went back and looked at film, it looks to me like he's lost a little bit of his confidence in terms of not wanting to make a mistake. But this was not a mistake. This was a good decision and a good job of making sure he gets the first. You can see Frank Middleton on Armstrong. They're going to keep it going all game long.
This war of words started early in the week between these two teams, who do not like each other. From the 36, here is Dunn cutting to the outside. And Dunn is chased down by Brian Walker after a gain of about 5 or 6 yards.
You know, there's a lot of people in this league who do good things. There's a lot of people in this league who play hard and do all those things. I have a lot of respect for Warwick Dunn. I think Warwick Dunn, who's raising his brothers and sisters, he's done a lot of things in the Tampa area in terms of being very, very kind with his money. I think this is one of the good people in the National Football League.
2nd down and 5, and Dunn cutting up the middle. Very slippery man to bring down, and he is tackled by the middle linebacker Zach Thomas, about 2 yards shy of a first down. Warwick Dunn with Mike Allstott on the sidelines, and Allstott hoping to get back for the finale against Green Bay. Now is the featured running back, and that's only happened 1 game before in his career.
Actually, I think he's better off this way, Dick, because a running back gets a feel for the game, and I believe you start getting your best football in the second half.
There is Mike Allstott observing. 3rd down and 2 on the Bucs 44. Dunn went in motion. Sean King can't get away and is sacked back at the 40-yard line by Patrick Surtain. So the secondary getting in the act in the sack parade, and the Buccaneers will have to kick.
Well, we said both teams were similar, and what you just got was the same thing. I mean, you got a little bit of the Buck medicine. What you also got, you bring Surtain from the corner. He's unaccounted for, but you also had good coverage down the field because Sean King had to pull it down fast. He felt the pressure, had to make a quick read, but they got the sack.
So Jeff Ogden back deep for the Dolphins, and Mark Royals will do the kicking for the Buccaneers. And a good kick, forcing Ogden to call for the fair catch at the 17-yard line. So, game starting out as we anticipated. It's been a defensive battle. No score with 7:15 to go in the first. You're looking at a sterling group of defensive backs for the Miami Dolphins, as good as you'll find. They lead the NFL with 25 interceptions, 24 of them coming from their secondary. And now the Miami Dolphins with the ball on the 17-yard line. Bert Emanuel, who is released by Tampa Bay, picked up by the Dolphins, is in as the third wide receiver. The handoff to Lamar Smith, going nowhere again, and a few extra red and pewter Bucs come into the act, and a loss of 1 yard.
Hey, let's go back to that third down, and I'll show you what happened. You're going to watch Patrick Surtain. He's going to come. That's from that side. Who's going in the flat is Warwick. Look at this right here. That's where he is. He sees him right now. But he also sees Surtain in the middle, and he pulls it down. But he had the first down, and he has to recognize that the coverage for that is coming out of the secondary. That was a gimme. Ball had to be there right away.
Second down and 11 at the 16-yard line. Jay Fiedler looking one way, going the other way, and his pass, and it's Oronde Gadsden, who has super hands, and he makes the sideline grab at the 45-yard line, and the Dolphins get out of trouble.
He has super hands. This is a great, and I mean great, throw against cover 2. Rondé Barber didn't get his hands on Gadsden and get the jam to the outside. One of the weaknesses in the zone is that outside, because Damian Robinson can't get over there. You can't get there in time, and so it's incumbent upon the corner to slow that route down. He didn't do it. Nicely thrown. First down.
28-yard gain as Fiedler goes to the air from the 45-yard line on first down. Short drop this time, and the deep pass. The defender was beaten, and Tony Martin had gotten by the secondary for an incompletion. Abraham was covering. And right now for a game break, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Dick and Matt, those surprising Eagles on the drive and doing well. Donald McNabb pump fake, hooks up with Chad Lewis. Lewis had 85 yards receiving on that drive. That set up a 2-yard run by Darnell Autry. It's the Eagles up 7-0. Back to Dick and Matt.
Eagles playing with a lot of confidence. Just watching that play real quick, JB, you can see that the Browns doing a good job of knocking each other off. They're beating their own guys up.
Sheldon Quarles, who suffered a sprained ankle, is back in the lineup for the Buccaneers. And another pass coming up on 2nd and 10. Fiedler, and the pass to Martin is caught for the first down. Tony Martin with a 14-yard pickup, and so Miami going it through the air. Bit of a surprise to this point.
Well, it may be, but what they're getting is time to throw. Chan Gailey's calling an excellent game. And obviously here in the start, but Todd Wade draws Warren Sapp. And if you're going to throw the football against Tampa, you better get Sapp blocked. Sapp is the key to the inside. But Chan Gailey is moving things around. He knows he can't just sit there and pound it. He's doing a good job moving the pocket and making some throws to the outside.
Dolphins in Buccaneer territory at the 41-yard line, and Fiedler looking one way, going the other. And going high to make the grab is Oronde Gadsden, who continues to make circus catches. A 21-yard pickup, and the Dolphins are at the 21.
Hey, I mentioned about Fiedler. He's a very good job of this. This is really fantastic. He's going to come back. He's going to look to this side. That slows this down. Comes to the inside. Here's the weakness we talked about. Above the corner and outside of the safety. Tough to make that throw, but he makes it even harder by looking him off hard to the left first. Very well done by Fiedler.
5 for 6 for 80 yards and looking off every time. From the 21-yard line, here is Lamar Smith trying the left side, but good pursuit, and John Lynch, who's playing with a slightly separated shoulder, and an inspiration for this Buccaneer defense, as if they need it, comes up and holds Lamar Smith to a -3.
You remember John Lynch last year kind of turned their season around. He made a big play late down the season, and kind of everybody piggybacked on that. He's that type of player. You're going to see him right in there, number 47. Very smart player, understands the scheme, knows where he fits. They'll take chances with him. He has some limitations, but they do a good job in covering them up. Really a fine player.
2nd and 13. Winding down the 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Fiedler getting pressure up the middle. He sees it, and the pass caught by Gadsden, who has made 3 terrific grabs so far. That one good for a pickup of 6 yards with Rondé Barber defending.
That was a fantastic catch because he tried to come out of his route and he slipped. The turf monster got him a little bit with this wet. And then watch the hands. Watch. He's an all-hand guy. He's got some massive paws on him. He's got some big hands, and you can see it right there. Just controls it with one.
3 catches for 56 yards already for Rondé Gadsden. 3rd and 7.
Now they've walked up outside, tighten the cover.
Fiedler with a fade pattern. And it is not caught. It is incomplete as Gadsden, defended by Rondé Barber, had his fingertips on it, but could not stay in play. And that will bring up 4th down, and Orlando Mare checks in.
Now watch, we showed you this. See how he walks up? Now because he walks up as a defender, you have to know that that's a possibility. The big receiver, you're going to have to get to the top side fast. The other thing you have to do is you've got to be able to get Warren Sapp blocked, and they've been able to do that.
So on 4th down, Orlando Mare, who has connected on 11 in a row, will attempt this from 35 yards out. And Mare, very nearly automatic. He has missed just 1 this year, gives the Miami Dolphins a 3-0 lead. We'll be right back.
Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By Wendy's Spicy Chicken. When you're hot, you're hot. By Energizer E-Squared, the battery with a heart of titanium. And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
South Beach, one of the highlights in Miami. Many of our crew over there on the weekend.
We're talking about that is our crew.
And still dancing. There is the scoring drive, and Fiedler, 70 yards passing in the drive. Orlando Mare kicking off. Carl Williams at the 5-yard line. Williams with a terrific return. Flag is down, however, at the 37-yard line. And 3 flags are actually tossed on Williams' return with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And there is the special teams coach Joe Marciano of the Buccaneers, and it looks like it's going to be brought back. And it started to rain again, and we had mentioned the rain had started about 2.5 hours before the game. It stopped right before the kickoff and it has resumed. Flag goes against the Bucs.
Dick, is it amazing that the Bucs still not have a kickoff return for a touchdown?
Unbelievable, and they've had success.
I mean, in their history since '76.
Holding 46 for return team. Holding 97. That penalty is accepted. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 10. Timeout.
Tioga Jackson's penalty will be the one they count. He's shaking his head. Miami 3-0 has the Bucs backed up.
Get together.
Excellent. Excellent. That was great. Thanks a lot.
To this one, a huge contest coming up in the second half of our doubleheader. Minnesota at St. Louis. Playoffs in essence starting now for the Rams. Tied with New Orleans for the lead in the West. Minnesota churning for home field advantage throughout of the NFC. Meanwhile, the Bucs begin from the 10-yard line. And here is Warrick Dunn sliding his way and picks up about 3 yards in the rain.
You know, in terms of running games, if there's one side that could be affected by the field, if it continues to rain, it will be Tampa Bay. Because Warrick Dunn is kind of he's a quick guy. He'll slash a little bit on you. Where on the other side, Lamar Smith, he's not as fast, doesn't have as much a quick motion. He just tries to keep on pounding inside. They need to get this guy out in the open a little bit, let him use the field to his advantage.
Kind of a Mike Allstott kind of day.
Yeah.
And he's on the sideline.
Good point.
2nd down and 6. And King loses the ball from behind, and it's recovered by the Buccaneers. And it was Jason Taylor who forced the fumble.
And a flag down, and it's going to go against Miami. Jason Taylor, they single block. These tackles can't handle Jason Taylor by himself. They need help. Too quick for him.
29. Defense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Out of automatic first down.
And a very bad penalty for the Miami Dolphins, and that has plagued them all year. And talking with Dave Wanstead yesterday, they have been penalized, and this one really stings.
Well, he got his hand on him. Now you can't hold him. Now he has that shoulder, and they're going to call that the whole time.
Sam Madison holding. And a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down at the 19. Coming in with the blitz, and Sean King going for Keyshawn Johnson, who got tripped up along the way by Patrick Surtain and overthrown.
But if Keyshawn's going to try to use speed against these corners, he's going to fail. He's got to use his body. He's not fast enough to run with these guys. I mean, just in terms of flat-out speed. But he's good enough to read things, sit down, use his body, be physical with them, do all those things. He's a bigger, more physical guy than these corners, but these corners can outrun him.
Trace Armstrong in the game. So is Lorenzo Bromell playing for the injured Rich Owens. Tampa Bay a -3 in the passing department, and it's 2nd and 10, and they're going to go to the air here. And this pass sandwiched between two defenders, and Keyshawn makes the grab. Surtain and Madison were both there, and a gain of 11. Terrific catch in the wet weather.
It's a perfect illustration of what I was just talking about. He's not going to run away from him, but you see how he's pushing off, being physical. Now that is a good job by him, but that is a fantastic throw by Sean King. That ball could only be in one spot, and that spot was right there. You could see Surtain had him to the inside. Sam Madison fell off his coverage to the outside. That's a great throw by Sean King.
First down at the 31 for the Bucs. They got into trouble starting from the 10-yard line, and here is Warwick Dunn trying to get loose, and getting him from behind was Kenny Mixon, and a gain of 4. Right now for a game break, let's check in again with James Brown. JB.
Hey, Dick and Matt, Cleveland doesn't plan to make it easy for Philadelphia. Rotating quarterbacks. Here's Doug Peterson hooking up with David Patton for a 9-yarder. Only the 3rd offensive touchdown in the last 8 games for Cleveland. It's knotted at 7 in the 2nd. Back to Dick and Matt.
And not an automatic for the Eagles, who face the Browns. A bye week and close with Cincinnati.
Nothing's going to be easy for Philadelphia. They're not a fantastic team. They just play really hard.
2nd and 6. And King throwing up the middle, and it's caught by Johnson again. So get me the ball, and that's what King has done on this drive, and it is a first down to the 41 with Marion and Walker on the play.
Well, that was nice. Just step and throw. And he's working to the outside. George Hegeman on Jason Taylor, and I mentioned to you about these tackles they can't handle his speed. And what Jason Taylor does a good job of is he understands, in order for him to be effective to the outside, he can come underneath. That's what makes him good.
And time runs out. That is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Miami Dolphins 3 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 0. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. Start of the 2nd quarter. Pete Pearson, replaced by George Hegeman at left tackle, has a pulled calf muscle. First down at the 42 for the Buccaneers, who began from their 10-yard line. And here is Warwick Dunn. And can't find any running room. And Kenny Mixon leading the way. And no gain on the play. A lot at stake for both teams in this game. And for the Miami Dolphins, a certain surprise this year. They lead the New York Jets by 1 game in the AFC East. A win or a tie will get them in the playoffs, but they're looking to capture the division. But if they end up tied with the Jets, they would lose, since the Jets have beaten Miami twice, including that really tough-to-take overtime loss, 40-37, back in October. 2nd down and 10. And this time King is going to throw after faking the handoff. He has time, throws in traffic, and the pass is intercepted. Ryan Walker picks it off for the Dolphins.
He had Keyshawn Johnson underneath. He had Keyshawn Johnson, and he went deep instead. We talked at the start of the game about not only making the right read, but not making a mistake. There's mistake number 1.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Castaway, directed by Robert Zemeckis, starring Tom Hanks, December 22nd, only in theaters. By E-Trade, it's your money. By Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service. And by Autotrader.com, the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
A rainy day in South Florida, and right now really pouring on Sean King, who was intercepted by Walker with his 7th interception, tied for the lead in the NFL. Dolphins get it back on their 31-yard line early here in the second. Fiedler rolling out, getting chased by a hunter to it, it's intercepted. And it's the linebacker Jamie Duncan, and Duncan will go in and score for the Bucs.
Did I mention mistake number 1, Dick? Let me introduce you to mistake number 2.
A 30-yard run back by Jamie Duncan, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take a 6-3 lead in a sudden turn of events here.
You know, General George Smith Patton said that the best defense is good offense, and that's what you're getting right. This is the Bucs' best offense of the day, and really that's on Fiedler, because it was just a poorly thrown ball.
Well, you know, Tampa Bay has scored 320 points, a lot of them engineered by this defensive unit. Duncan's 2nd interception of the season, and now Martin Gramatica is on with a little more than a minute gone by here in the second quarter, and Gramatica with the extra point, and Tampa Bay has taken a 7-3 lead over Miami.
You know, it's funny because we said that right at the start of the game about you know, which quarterback, the plays that he made and the mistakes that he made would make a difference, and you can see the Bucs defense has been right on top of everything.
Ronde Barber with a fumble return against the Bears, and then an interception by Barber again against the Jets. Derek Brooks with a 34-yard pick against Minnesota. Brian Kelly last week against Dallas returned it for 9 yards, and now Jamie Duncan with the interception from Fiedler right in his hands, and goes in 30 yards for the score.
Now Fiedler was feeling the pressure by Chidi Hanatu. So he felt that. He did have Lamar Smith. He just had to lead him. But the ball came from behind right into the hands of Duncan. And so again, you know, it was about making mistakes. And mistakes are made a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's a misread, a missed opportunity. And then sometimes it's just a bad throw, and that's what Fiedler got.
So the first interception thrown by Jay Fiedler in 93 tries. And the score is 7-3. As we mentioned, Duncan taking over at middle linebacker for the veteran Hardy Nickerson, who meant so much to this team in previous seasons.
Oh, there's no question he meant a lot, but they were good about putting that aside, moving on, and every team has to do that.
Martin Gramatica with the kickoff, and Autry Denson. And now there's confusion. Denson did not pick it up. It was J.J. Johnson ultimately. Denson trying to block for Johnson. And a flag is thrown back to the 20-yard line. So they made something out of nothing, but now the penalty marker thrown.
That's miscommunication between Denson and Johnson. Dick, you don't do that. That looked like something that would happen in the first preseason game.
Bill Carollo. And the penalty, as it usually does in these instances, goes against the returning team.
Illegal block in the back, 21 on the return team. During the run back, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Autry Denson got called for the penalty, but look at this. This is miscommunication right here. Ball's in the air. He's saying, you got it. Denson's going, what are you doing? You have the ball. Ball's to that side. No, it wasn't pre-planned. And then to compound the matter, Denson gets himself a penalty on top of it. And let's just take a look to see what the hold is, because he looked like the cat that got the bird there.
First down for the Dolphins on the 10-yard line. The give is to Lamar Smith, driving ahead. Smith coming into the game needing 63 yards for 1,000 yards on the season, and won his job in preseason against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These teams scrimmage for 4 days every year, and it was Lamar Smith who gained 72 yards in a preseason game that won him the job.
Funny talking to Warren Sapp about that last night. Sapp said, he said, Tony Dungy put the tape on and said, here's how you guys did. He said, what, are you kidding me? You brought us down here, you sent us in the hotel lobby, you said, go play? That's not playing.
They flew in the day of the game. He had a good excuse. 2nd and 6 here is Smith. And Lamar Smith with a good run, very close to the first down yardage.
Oh,
tackle made by John Lynch.
John Lynch is hurt. John Lynch, he's hurt in that separate. He's going off the field too. He took on Conrad in the hole. And you can see that the way he's holding that, he's playing with a slight separation. And I think he just had it slightly separated a little bit more. Conrad took him on right into the hole. Watch this. He's going to run right up inside. Conrad is going to meet him. Bang! Right on the shoulder. Now watch Lynch. He's going to fall off and get into the tackle.
Dexter Jackson replaces Lynch as Jay Fiedler with the quarterback sneak gets the first down. You remember in the first quarter when he tried the quarterback sneak, the play was blown off because the officials were not ready for play, as you see Lynch being tended to.
Well, and I know that, Wentz. I have had those same things, and there's only one thing that's going to cure that thing: time. And you're not going to have time. And so the next thing is you have to play football hurt, and you have to play it with a little help from your medical doctor. That's the only way you're going to be able to tough it through, because that's a painful thing and it's not leaving you.
Any guy's going to tough it through, it'll be number 47. The play clock has run down, and a delay of the game penalty will be marked off against the Dolphins.
Delay offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And that's just carelessness, but penalties plaguing the Miami Dolphins, and Dave Wanstead shaking his head. It's been a good year, but not in the penalty department for Miami.
You see, John Lynch was about to walk in over there on the sideline, and Herman Edwards put his hand from him and said, hey, slow down a little bit. Let's just take this a little slower than you want to. Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator, just let him catch his breath and let him feel that shoulder a little bit more.
First and 15, back on the 16-yard line. Play fake and the pass out of the backfield to Rob Conrad, the fullback, and Conrad out to the 24-yard line. Well, Fox tonight on an all-new episode of The X-Files. How do you stop a murder that's already happened? Join Special Agents Scully and Doggett in an all-new episode of The X-Files tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
John Lynch, didn't take him too long to stay out. Tough guy, emotional guy, a leader. He's not in there, they miss him.
Second down and 6, and here is Lamar Smith. Not much from the ground game today, although Smith fights his way for about 3 yards. Damian Robinson, the free safety, in on the tackle.
But what you will get out of Chan Gailey is a real commitment to running. He's not going to stay away from it. He's going to keep on going with it. And Lamar Smith is one of those players. He's not a flashy guy. He's not going to wow you with great speed or great moves. What he's going to do is going to keep on coming at you. And he's patient, and he reads his blocks pretty well, and they'll just keep on pounding him. Those are the kind of teams that have given Tampa Bay problems.
Autry Denson checking in and running back. Out of the shotgun is Fiedler. And Fiedler's pass incomplete.
I thought
overthrown McDuffie, and it was Rondé Barber on the coverage. And we saw before in the highlights how many defensive touchdowns he's made this year.
Watch Rondé Barber. I want you to watch. Okay, there's your 5-yard jam. Now stay on him. Watch the left hand. Okay, that's good defense. Very good defense. O.J. McDuffie was going to try to get body position on him, but Barber played it perfectly in a nice drive in the ball.
Carl Williams back deep, and Matt Turk, whose first punt today went 30 yards, gets off a far better one here and sends Williams back to the 21. Remember, the ball's got to be tough to handle in the wet weather. We have a steady rain here, and Trent Gamble with a terrific special teams play after the 53-yard kick.
Trent Gamble over here, Dexter Jackson, have a plan, number one, and then play hard. He made the team because of this, because it means something to him, and he also understands the game. He's forced out of bounds. He also knows he has to get right back in bounds, but then you do it by making a play. That's well done. This kid's a good special teams player.
And that's how you win a job in the NFL. First and 10 at the 24. Sean King, who has thrown an interception thus far, but the Bucs lead 7-3. Here is Warwick Dunn with a hesitation and a pickup of about 2 yards. A report on Derek Brooks, and the heart and soul of the defense for Tampa Bay would have to be Sapp, Brooks, and Lynch. And Brooks right now has a bruised right knee. No word on his status.
Well, that's tough. You can see him limping around there. Forget the bruise. That man's game is speed, and if he doesn't have full speed, he is a lot less effective.
Riedel Anthony comes in as the third wide receiver, 2nd and 7, and the handoff out of the shotgun to Warrick Dunn, trying to get Warrick Dunn into space, and he is stopped about 1.5 yards shy of the first down by Zach Thomas.
Zach Thomas is an active guy, and we talked about Derek Brooks with his speed. Zach Thomas is another one of those guys whose game really depends on speed, because if you can get a body on him, he's usually blocked. But you better keep him blocked. You just saw right there, he flowed to the right, worked off the block, then came off of it. It's not a sin in this league to be blocked, but it is to stay blocked. And Zach Thomas does a good job of not staying blocked.
3rd and 1. Keyshawn in motion, and the shovel pass to Keyshawn Johnson and the first down. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to find ways to get the ball to Keyshawn, do it in a bit of an unorthodox style, and pick up the first down.
Maybe unorthodox, but it's smart, Dick, and here's why. Both these corners play nice, tight coverage, and they're good when they can get their hands on a receiver. And so what you want to try to do with Keyshawn is get him in a position where he doesn't have to fight that first. He's not a real fast guy, but he's fast enough.
He used Darrell Gardner as a screen on that play. First down at the 36 for Tampa Bay, and here is Warrick Dunn trying to pick his spots, and he gets it out to the 40-yard line, a gain of 4 yards, and it was Jermaine Haley, number 94 for the Dolphins.
I really like Warrick Dunn. I am a big fan of his because, you know, he's very good in the inside running game. He's not a big guy. He's hard to see, especially behind that offensive line. And then what he does is he stays nice and low, and then you'll start flowing, and that if you're a fast flow defense, which this Dolphin team is, that's where he'll beat you, because he'll bring it back.
2nd down and 6, the ball at the Tampa Bay 40. Back to throw. And the pass is high, and a flag is down. Keyshawn Johnson was the intended receiver, and Brian Walker very nearly had his 2nd pick of this first half. And there is a penalty, and that will be a goal against the Dolphins.
It's going to be a hold.
Holding, 52, defense before the pass.
That's Robert Jones.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
And another first down as a result of a defensive penalty.
You're going to see he's going to work down inside against the zone right here on Keyshawn Johnson. And that's what they're going to call right there, that hold to the top shoulder. But that's not a good throw or a good decision by Sean King to throw inside, because the safety, Walker, is sitting right there. I mean, that's one of those things that you could get your receiver killed.
First down following the penalty for the Bucs on their 45. Here is Sean King, chased from the pocket and running room. He'll get the first down. Zach Thomas comes over, but not before Sean King picks up 12 yards to the 44 of Miami.
That was a good job by Sean King. Very well done, because one of the things that happens when you play that man coverage, you lock on as your back is to the quarterback. And if you can get past that first level of defenders, which is your pass rush, there's usually a big area to run it. And that was the case here in this play. Sean King came out of that pocket, saw there was nothing but green, and took advantage of it.
So twice today we've seen Dolphin defensive penalties giving the Bucs a first down. Trying to take advantage of it, and here is Warrick Dunn. And Dunn is stopped by Jason Taylor from behind, but not before he gets about 4.
Now, this is the previous play. This is Warrick Dunn. You're going to watch him. He's trying to block to the outside, keep himself on Patrick Surtain. Now see the chain from Surtain? It came off, and it's there it goes. See, it doesn't matter where the ball is. Let's see if yep, he went back and recovered the chain. There it is.
I see the chain from Surtain in the rain today. And
in Spain, it lies mainly in the chain in the rain.
2nd down and 8 at the 41-yard line. And he'll give it to Dunn, trying to go outside. Finds an opening. And terrific running by Warrick Dunn, and the Buccaneers should have another first down with Derek Rogers on the tackle as we check in with James Brown for another game break. JB?
Well, Dick and Matt, on the plains in Cleveland, Donovan McNabb, who's 8 of 10 for 171 yards in the first half, throws this touchdown toss to Terrence Small, 24 yards. That knocks it up at 14. Back to the poetic ones, Dick and Matt.
Thank you, JB. and we thank thee. That's pretty pathetic, isn't it?
How about Warwick Dunn? He has been anything but pathetic, leading the charge in the last 3 games, and the handoff to Robbie Abdullah, and Abdullah giving Warwick Dunn a breather. May have another first down. Brock Marion on the tackle, and it's very close as the Tampa Bay Bucs are running the ball well.
Nice job of blocking right at the point. And then you have to get help from the outside. But I want you to watch right inside. Very nicely done, right? Boom, right there. Look at that. Has him going backwards, and then once he's on that outer edge, he can take advantage of that. You can't get there if you don't get a block from your wide receiver. Keyshawn Johnson blocked Surtain, and he did a fantastic job. That's Charles Kirby, the fullback, 48, who did the first thing, and then he picked up a little help from his friend on the outside.
That's how close it is, and it is a first down. So Robbie Abdullah, who gained 38 yards on 10 carries last week in the Bucs win against Dallas, gives Tampa Bay a first down inside the 25, and the 9th play of this drive coming up.
You know, a guy like Charles Kirby, number 48, in games like this, when you have smallish linebackers, they're invaluable. You can be physical with those linebackers. You can get some vertical separation and get Warwick Dunn in there to make a play.
2 tight ends for the Bucs from the 23. Actually 3 tight ends, and Dunn escapes 1 defender and carries Brock Marion to the 20-yard line.
He's running very well, and he's running on a soft field. Must have good shoes. May have probably gone. There's 3 size cleats you use in this league. There's 1/2 inch, 5/8, and 3/4, and sometimes it doesn't make a bit of difference. Some guys just know how to run in bad conditions. They're mutters, and Warwick Dunn does a good job of shortening his stride and keeping his feet under him.
48 yards for Dunn on 13 carries. It'll be 2nd and 7. Robbie Abdullah, the lone setback. And they go to Abdullah, finding an opening, and the Buccaneers, who felt they could run against the Miami defense, doing it right here on this drive, short of the first down, but inside the 15 with Surtain on the tackle.
Nicely done by the right side. Good job of that offensive line of just getting on people. Remember, Miami's defense is not very big. And so if you get a big body on them and you let Abdullah get into a little bit of space, you're going to be fine.
This is Tony Dungy's style of football right here.
Right here. This is what he likes, and Les Steckel is calling an outstanding game, and right here in this drive. I should say an outstanding drive.
3rd and 1. Abdullah, not this time, and storming through to make the play, Darrell Gardner, and a loss of a couple.
Well, the Lehigh engineer got met right in the backfield. Gardner did a good job of slipping his block, 92. Watch him. They come down inside. He worked off of McDaniel. He just slipped the block. Got into the backfield and made the play. They were just going to try to power right at him.
So they needed 3 yards, and they couldn't get it thanks to Gardner. And now Martin Gramatica is on to attempt a field goal. Gramatica has connected on 16 straight field goals and can set a team record if he connects here. And he doesn't. The kick is no good. He hooks it. And not only does it streak in, but Tampa Bay comes up empty with 2:52 remaining in the first half. The Bucs leading 7-3.
As we watch Martin Gramatica shank one to the left, I guess you call that a hook in the golf world, Dick, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, you could just see right, just a little bit of slip by the left side, but basically he just missed it.
Normally, Gramatica has been automatic from 34 yards, and that was one that Tony Dungy would count. And there you see helping out the officials was Dave Wanstead. So they bit the bullet there because Miami committing the defensive penalty, allowing the Bucs to keep the ball. Gramatica sits alone as the Dolphins get it back on the 24-yard line. Derek Brooks is in the game, as Jay Fiedler looking for a target, won't find one, and gets sacked, and a loss inside the 20. James Canada with the pressure. John Lynch there, and Fiedler is shaken up. So Fiedler, who got hurt on the first play of the game against the Jets and missed the game at Indianapolis. And there you see the backup, Damon Heward, and he may get the call. Coming up, we'll take a timeout.
It's
Jay Fiedler on the sidelines has to be there for at least one play, as Damon Heward, who battled Fiedler for the starting role this year and lost it, has started one game. Started 5 last year in his 4th year out of the University of Washington. 2nd down and 15 with Heward the new quarterback, and a fake end around and the handoff to Lamar Smith. It was 3rd down and 15. Here's the injury.
Well, Lynch set him up. Canada came from the backside. Watch his left elbow first, and that, of course, transfers up into the shoulder. And what he was trying to do, he was trying to find Tony Martin on the crossing route right there. But he was running through his zone, and he was picked up perfectly by Robinson. Now, once he broke back to his right, that's when Gadsden tried to come back to help him. And, of course, as he was coming to help him, that's when he got smacked on that shoulder.
2-minute warning, a left shoulder injury, and he may not get back, Jay Fiedler. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris with scores and highlights from around the league, and our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report. Working on Fiedler and Heward, who took over after one play in a 20-3 loss to the Jets, then was the quarterback in the win at Indianapolis next week. Looking at 3rd and 11 and a handoff to Autry Denson. And Denson will be stopped 10 yards shy of the 1st down. John Lynch coming back in the game after suffering an injury and now forcing the Dolphins to punt.
Lynch played that very well.
And a timeout called by Tampa Bay. And will be Warren Sapp, always talking, always smiling.
And always playing hard.
That Turk will kick from the 10-yard line, and Carl Williams is back deep for the Buccaneers, who have 2 timeouts remaining, and it takes a Miami bounce picked up by Williams at the 30, and he dives to the 35-yard line.
There's my guy Gamble right on top of that thing again. Trent Gamble is in this league. He can run pretty well, but he's in this league because he wants to play. I mean, he plays very hard all the time. Now, again, you have to have a plan from the start. Working against Rondé Barber, he just runs through everything. Look at this. Find the football. I like that kid. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good special teams guy.
Undrafted rookie from University of Wyoming. There you see trying to keep the football dry as we get set with 1:41 remaining. The Buccaneers at the 36-yard line.
For those of you who are wondering at home, each football game gets 36 balls. You get 18 and a half. 6 kicking balls and 12 regular field balls. So it's up to the umpire to keep it dry.
Out of the shotgun, Sean King, and the inside handoff to Warwick Dunn. And the Dunn, with a flag thrown from upfield, is tackled after a lot of dancing and very little yards gained. 1 thanks to Terrence Shaw and Brian Walker. And the holding penalty against the Bucs.
Adele Anthony was out there, number 85, trying to give him some help.
Holding, 85, offense. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Remains 1st down.
Well, you know, they're not. I don't even want to say that that's an attempt at blocking. That's kind of feeble. See, they got the hand right there. I mean, if you're going to hold the guy, really hold him. That's not much.
As a result, 1st and 19 for Tampa Bay, back on their 27. And the give is to Warwick Dunn. Very little up the middle. And it was Jason Taylor on the tackle. Miami scoring first on a 35-yard field goal by Alindo Mare in the 1st quarter.
Watch Jason Taylor. He's not a very big guy. And so what he's got to be able to do is he's got to be able to move, which he does. He's gotten better in the run game, but if you can power him, he's got problems. There's not a lot of Jason there. But he has great quicks and excellent movement, and he uses that to his advantage.
And he's teamed up with Trace Armstrong for a devastating duo.
Who's now in right now on the other side. You got Armstrong on the left. Armstrong rather, and on the right you got Jason Taylor.
The Bucs have called a timeout, their 2nd. Wants to start to throw again.
Well, actually what he's going to do, Dick, it's not his right arm, it's his left arm. So he's trying to feel what the ball handling part of it would be like. The throwing part is, you know, that's the other side. But now if I'm a defender and I see that he comes back in the game, the first thing I want to do is get him on the ground. I want to knock him around and make him remember that his shoulder's not very good.
That's 2 sore shoulders because he injured the right one against the Jets on the first play, and now the left one is hurting. Second down and 18. The Buccaneers with 1 timeout remaining, and again they go on the ground to Warwick Dunn, and he goes on the ground after a minimal gain and pressure that time by Jerry Wilson. And right now the Bucs having trouble moving the ball against this defense. And a timeout now called by Miami as the Dolphins visualize getting the ball back in another down and maybe setting up a possible field goal at least. Let's take a look at the NFC playoff picture at what's at stake for Tampa Bay among others. The division leaders are the Vikings, Giants, and the New Orleans Saints. No one thought of this when the season started. The Vikings have already clinched the playoffs. The wild card leaders right now, the Eagles with Tampa Bay second and the Detroit Lions third. And still alive are the St. Louis Rams and the Washington Redskins. And who would have figured at this stage that the Rams, the defending champions, would be in that plight?
This team right here, that's the only team that controls its own destiny. They win out. They can control what's in front of them. The Rams, they don't. Although they still have to play New Orleans.
Third down and 19. And the Dolphins trying to stop the Bucs and get the ball back. And on the screen pass to Warwick Dunn. And Dunn with the tackle at the 30-yard line. And Miami will get one last chance. They call the timeout. And it comes with 34 seconds remaining in the first half. There right in the middle with the hat is Mike Shula, who now works for Dave Wanstead as the quarterback coach and was the offensive coordinator for Tampa Bay before replaced by Les Steckel this year.
And who you see he's talking to is Fiedler. Fiedler got a helmet on and he'll go right back in on this next series.
Mark Royals will kick for Tampa Bay. And Jeff Ogden is back deep. It is low and end over end, and Ogden is going to let it bounce.
Mistake. You never, ever let the ball hit the ground. Ever. Don't see, that was another mistake. You should have let that ball on the ground as long as possible to let the clock run down. You let the official come in and blow it and stop it, and you let it alone.
And it cost the Dolphins 13 yards because of that mental mistake. Let's take a look at the AFC playoff picture with the Dolphins, Raiders, and the Tennessee Titans, 10-3. And if they end up that way, Miami, because of the conference record, would have the home field throughout. But we have a way to go. Wild card, the Ravens, the Denver Broncos, who could still win the AFC West, and the New York Jets, a game behind Miami, and still alive are the Colts, Steelers, and Bills.
Well, the 2 teams that I'm keeping my eyes on are the best kept secret in the National Football League is in Baltimore. That's the first one. And the second one, Denver Broncos. They are playing very well.
And important for the Dolphins to be home in the playoffs, as you see by their 4-1 record in postseason. So Jay Fiedler is back in the game, out of the shotgun. And Fiedler with seconds left, and the ball is tipped and intercepted. And Shelton Quarles with the interception. So Quarles, who was shaken up before with a sprained left ankle, came back in the game, and on the deflection gets the second interception by a Tampa Bay linebacker.
Well, it's just stepping through. It looks like that ball came off his hand to the backside, like it almost slipped out, because the ball was thrown behind and Quarles was just sitting back there. It gets tipped up by Brooks, as you can see. But from the front side, as he stepped to throw, it looks like the ball just didn't come out right.
And for the second time, we have an interception on the first play of the drive. Jamie Duncan ran running it in 30 yards for the touchdown and the only TD of the game. And now Quarles gives the ball back to Tampa Bay. Not much time left, 13 seconds, but the Bucs still have 1 timeout to go. 3 turnovers in a game in which mistakes would be one of the keys today.
That's what Tony Dungy said right at the start of the game. He talked to Pam Alvin.
From the 32-yard line, Sean King, and he gets it out to Warwick Dunn. Dunn loses his shoe, I believe, and still going, is out of bounds at the 20. Zach Thomas missed the tackle, and Dunn got a bonus.
Fantastic effort by Dunn. And good awareness as you take it down to 5 seconds. He got the necessary yardage that he needed to be able to put his field goal kicker in a better position.
So Martin Gramatica, as you see, Warwick Dunn spinning away, losing the shoe after Thomas missed, and so Gramatica, who missed a 34-yard field goal a few moments before. Will attempt this from 38. 5 seconds remaining in the first half. And here is Gramatica, and now this kick is good. It was tailing off to the right, but it stayed in, and Martin Gramatica kicking the field goal as time runs out to give the Buccaneers a 10-3 halftime lead, and it was set up by Quarles' interception. And that is the end of the first half with the score, the Bucs 10 and the Dolphins 3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. In the rain in Miami, as advertised, a defensive struggle in the first half between the Buccaneers and the Dolphins. But Dolphins turnovers have resulted in all 10 Tampa Bay points. They lead 10-3 in a battle resuming in the second half in just a moment.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Start of the third quarter moments away, with the Buccaneers leading the Dolphins by a score of 10-3. And down on the field now with Dave Wannstedt, the Dolphins head coach, is Pam Oliver.
Hey, thanks a lot. Dave, let me ask you first of all about your quarterback. How's Jay?
Oh, he's not 100%, but he's going to try it, this half. We just got to be careful there. He's wanting to play, but wanting and being effective is two different things.
How do you get something going? It's still a very close ball game with those turnovers are killing.
Yeah, the 2 turnovers killed us. That's been the difference in the football game, and we got to keep our defense going and hanging in there long enough until we make a few plays on offense.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. Also, Dick, I talked to Tony Dungy. He says he's very pleased with the way the running game is going, and he's pleased that the defense has kept the Dolphins out of the end zone.
Start of the third quarter moments away, with the Buccaneers leading the Dolphins by a score of 10-3. And down on the field now with Dave Wannstedt, the Dolphins head coach, is Pam Oliver.
Hey, thanks a lot. Dave, let me ask you first of all about your quarterback. How's Jay?
Oh, he's not 100%, but he's going to try it, this half. We just got to be careful there. He's wanting to play, but wanting and being effective is two different things.
How do you get something going? It's still a very close ball game with those turnovers are killing.
Yeah, the 2 turnovers killed us. That's been the difference in the football game, and we got to keep our defense going and hanging in there long enough until we make a few plays on offense.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. Also, Dick, I talked to Tony Dungy. He says he's very pleased with the way the running game is going, and he's pleased that the defense has kept the Dolphins out of the end zone. He said, key for the second half, keep protecting that football. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thank you very much. Pam Oliver appreciating the rain as much as anyone today with her sideline work today. Matt, what do you make of the first half other than what Dave Wannstedt told us?
Well, I think I agree with what Howie Long said at halftime, and that is the difference so far in this game, aside from the turnovers, has been the Bucs have been able to run the football, and they've been staying with it. And I think Les Steckles is doing a good job of just keeping that running game going, and Warwick Dunn's been able to find something. Now in the second half, I'll expect to see more. I'll expect to see more out of that in terms of the running game. And then it's just, again, going to come back to who makes the fewest mistakes. We started this game, and we said it would be the quarterback that either made a mistake or missed a read or missed an opportunity, and the first half has been true to them.
And both quarterbacks have made mistakes. So let's take a look now at the halftime statistics quickly. And we'll do that after the kickoff because it is upon us. Olindo Mare will do the kicking, and Carl Williams and Robbie Abdullah back deep for Tampa Bay. And it's heading for Williams, and Williams will down it in the end zone and take it out at the 20-yard line. And now a look at the halftime numbers.
I think the biggest things right here with the Bucs is they were able to run the football, and the Dolphins, which are a rushing team also, they haven't. I mean, total yards are nothing. You didn't expect that. You didn't expect anything. And then the other thing you talked about are the turnovers. And more importantly for the Dolphin turnovers is that one of them was both of them were directly turned into points. The 10 points came off both those turnovers.
Of course, when you look at the third quarter this year, that has been the Miami Dolphins quarter as they have outscored their opponents 73-3. And they come in trailing 10-3 now. Dave Wannstedt had no real rationale for why they've been so decisive. First down at the 20-yard line for Sean King and the Buccaneers, and the handoff to Warwick Dunn, trying to spin away to no avail as Robert Jones comes in and makes the stop for no gain.
Robert Jones made the tackle, but Jason Taylor made the play. Jason Taylor played that defensive end working over there on the tight end and on Dave Moore. And so he just took it on and he held the outside. So his responsibility is outside. So you keep leverage. See, by the fact that he jumped to the outside, it forced Warrick Dunn back inside, so he makes the play.
And Trace Armstrong is in on 2nd and long. Only 1 sack today by the Dolphins, that by the secondary. And King's going to take off and not get away from the clutches of Darrell Gardner.
That's an outstanding play by Gardner because this is a set play. This is going to be a quarterback draw. They have him to the inside. He splits it. And see what? Did you see that? All the old teammates, McDaniel and Christie, they each thought the other guy had him, and they both turned him over at the same time. And when Gardner made the tackle, they looked at each other like, I thought you had him.
3rd down and 9 at the 21. Riddell Anthony moving in motion. 2 wide receivers to the right. King escaping from pressure, but getting chased down again, will run. There's a flag down as King goes out of bounds. About 2 yards shy of the first down. Chased by Patrick Surtain, but holding will be the penalty against the Bucs. Dunn with 49 yards on 16 carries at the half. He caught 2 passes for 15 more.
I would suspect you.
Holding on the right tackle, number 79. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's George Hegeman, who is working on Lorenzo Brumell. And they can just single up on these tackles. You get an excellent pass rush.
Jeff Ogden back deep, and Mark Royals will punt for the Buccaneers. Not a good kick, a line drive kick. Flag is down, and Ogden brings it up at about the 47-yard line. So pending the flag, which is back near the line of scrimmage, good field position for Miami.
That's going to definitely be on Tampa Bay. I saw it from here. See, the official has to look at the cross wing, which I believe is
holding 24 of the kicking team before the kick. That penalty is declined. Receivers will keep the ball. 1st down.
So Damian Robinson holding, but who wants to pass up the ball near midfield, and that's where the Dolphins will get it when we return.
Field position again.
But we'll have a nice meal anyway as we see the Dolphins begin from the 47-yard line, and the pitch goes to Lamar Smith, and Smith dragging the defender Jamie Duncan, and a gain of nearly 9 on 1st down. So there's Lamar Smith with 10 carries and 17 yards before that last carry.
Just power football up inside, Dick. And again, this is the kind of running game, if they can stay with that, it's the kind of running game that gives Tampa Bay problems when they come straight at them and play power football.
2nd and 2 at the 45. Dave Fiedler shaken up momentarily in the first half. Now back, and Smith nearly broke a tackle. And Sheldon quarrels after Duncan couldn't hold on, and that will give the Dolphins a 1st down.
What happens with this Tampa Bay defense is, see, their front people, they do a lot of movement and stunts. And if you catch them right, you can catch them in a big game. However, there are going to be times when they catch you in the backfield and set up, 2nd and long or 3rd and long. That time, again, they came with the slant. They picked it up nicely, and he picks up the 1st down.
On the Bucs' 41-yard line. Early here in the 3rd. Wheeler dropping the throw. Pass is caught for the 1st down at the 26 by Tony Martin.
Just thrown against the cover 3, which is rare for what you get out of Tampa Bay. Sit down, sitting in front of that zone. See the cushion. He's going to drive the cushion, and once the hips are flipped from Rondé Barber, the ball's thrown down inside. Now Fiedler's making his throw. It's not a real strong throw, but it's an effective throw.
3 catches and 45 yards for Tony Martin, returning to the starting lineup. Suffered a foot injury at Game 2 at Minnesota and was out 3 games. 1st down at the 25, and there is Smith, and the Buccaneers close down. And Smith is stopped at the line of scrimmage, led by Marcus Jones.
Marcus Jones is up there, and then see, this is the other part of what this Tampa Bay defense does so well. Monty Kiffin will change things up. He's their defensive coordinator, and he'll drop down that extra man. In this case, it's the safety John Lynch, and so you have 8 people up there, and so there's an extra guy. There's a guy who can't be accounted for.
Talked about how Miami wants to have home field with a 4-1 playoff record. 5-1 at home this year.
Here's Lynch up again. Give him an 8-man front.
Remember, they've been dominant in the third quarter, have the Dolphins. In the middle screen completed to Bob Conrad. Rob Conrad, the fullback, with a first down to the 12-yard line. Well executed with a sea of white shirts.
And a nice call. And when you have a defense that's going to give you lots of pressure up the field, you use it against them. And so you take it and you let them come this way. And you run people off to the outside and you create a void to the middle. Conrad jumps down on the inside. And this is the ump cam looking at the same thing. It's a good picture.
13-yard gain, and the Dolphins with their most impressive offensive drive of the game. And the pitch goes to Smith off the left tackle, and Smith gets about 5 yards on first down. Quarles on the tackle, but the Dolphins are playing like they normally do in the third quarter. Dominating teams with little less than 10 minutes to go in this third quarter, and the drive at 3.5 minutes.
You know something weird about when you're playing this stuff? Whenever you get mud or grass or stuff stuck in, you always have to take it off. You always do, no matter what. Regardless when in the play, you just start finding yourself picking things.
Martin coming in motion toward the line on 2nd and 5, and the handoff up the middle to Lamar Smith. But the Bucs were not fooled by the end-around fake. Jamie Duncan on the tackle, bringing up third down and about 4. And we talked about field position, mistakes, the kickers, ball control. You couldn't get it any tighter than this.
Well, it's exactly what we expected. Chan Gailey now here has, that's a good move, right? What Derek Brooks did. Just kicked the football. He didn't mean to. He kicked the ball. That was one of the, that was a Raiderism. Whenever you needed to buy a little time, you always made sure you kicked that ball, so the officials had to reset.
You guys did a lot of things like that, didn't you?
Raider rules, sure. I had a good teacher, Ted Hendricks.
3rd and 3. Here's Fiedler and throwing the fade, and it's knocked away by Rondé Barber. Intended for Rondé Gadsden, and Barber with a big play prevents the Dolphins from getting 6, and instead will have to try for a field goal.
That, Dick, I believe, was not a poorly thrown ball. They were going to try the fade to the outside, and it hung, and Barber was able to redirect and come back underneath. That's good awareness by Barber, because if he had just played the position and expected that fade and played to that, he would have been beaten.
So Fiedler back in action brings the Dolphins close, and now they have to rely on the right foot of Orlando Mare. This will be a 23-yard field goal, and the kick is good. So Orlando Mare, with his second field goal of the game, brings the Dolphins to within 4.
This is what Fiedler sees. He's the cushion here to the outside. The Bucs are going to bring the safety to the inside. He has to pick it up. Now, because of this cushion, I don't believe he wants to try to run a fade. He's going to try to run that out ball. But the ball, it just floats on him. There wasn't enough mustard on it. And because of that, Barber, who really had been out position, he had him on the inside hip where he wanted him. He's able to adjust and knock the ball away.
So Orlando Mare, who kicked the field goal moments ago, going for Carl Williams at the 12-yard line. Williams tripped up at the 30-yard line by Trent Gamble, who continues to have a superlative game on special teams.
You know, and just watching him and watching his body language, seems like he's concerned to take the snap and then kind of feel it coming back. This is him. He went back into the dugout under the stadium, and he's trying to
and that's going on right now.
Yeah.
First down for the Bucs at the 30-yard line. Warwick Dunn going up the middle and is stopped by Jason Taylor, and a gain of 4 yards. So Fiedler now coming back out after being taped up and going inside. He's in the drama here.
He's concerned with his ball handling. That's his major concern. Just looking at it, I mean, I would be concerned with more than my ball handling. I think Dave Weinstein's going to have to make a decision here shortly.
2nd and 5. Two tight ends have been in most of the game, and there is Dunn being tackled from behind by Darryl Gardner. And Gardner and Taylor really stopping the run for the Dolphins, and a loss of 3 yards.
Watch Gardner. See, he's in a 3 technique, and they're expecting Hegeman to come down on him, and that's really a hard block. If you don't get him right now out of that technique, you're dead. Because he's coming too hard up the field. Then you have to cut him right at the line of scrimmage. And if you miss him, you risk a big play.
And the crowd now in full throat, 3rd and long.
He's feeling good about himself, too. There's nothing better than when you're on the field and you can start to feel the crowd and you start to know you're playing well. It's a great feel, like nobody can touch you.
Bucs will use a timeout, and we'll be right back.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By De Beers, the world's diamond expert since 1888. By Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be. And by PlayStation 2.
We're back, 3rd and 8 for the Buccaneers after they call the timeout. Sean King's pass, incomplete, going for Keyshawn Johnson, through his hands and covered by Walker and Shaw, and the Bucs will have to kick it away.
That's a pretty good throw and a ball that's a tough catch, but if you're Keyshawn Johnson, you have to make that catch. You can't drop that ball. That ball is right where it has to be, in your hands, up high. The coverage is there as well, but look at this, right through the hands. Shame on Keyshawn.
So it's 4th down, and Mark Royals to boot it away, and Jeff Ogden goes deep. Not a good kick, off to the left and out of bounds. So the worst kick of the day, and it's now ruled out of bounds at midfield. It is out of bounds at midfield, even though the ball squirted into Tampa Bay territory. The official there to mark it where it went out of bounds at the 50. The line judge, who is he, Matt?
That's Ben Montgomery. Been in it a long time. Good official. I worked with him in the preseason. And once that ball crosses the plane, just like
kick was out of bounds.
Bingo.
The receivers will keep the ball at that spot, the 50-yard line. Timeout.
So the Dolphins will get tremendous field position as you see the ball. Buccaneers leading the Dolphins 10-6. Jay Fiedler, who had his shoulder wrapped, is back in there, but the Bucs defense has made a habit of knocking quarterbacks out of the game. Chris Chandler, Brett Favre, and Rob Johnson previously. Meanwhile, at midfield, great field position for the Dolphins, who trail by 4. Fiedler is going deep, and the pass is incomplete. Gadsden was the intended receiver, overthrown. And right now, let's check in with James Brown for a game break. JB?
Dick and Matt, no case of overthrowing here. Donovan McNabb, Matt, he just continues to improve. Hooking up here with Charles Johnson. He's already thrown for over 300 yards, tied a career high with 3 touchdowns. And, of course, Philadelphia is in the playoffs with the victory, up by 14. Back to Dick and Matt.
You can count that one. That defense of Philadelphia is very good. And you're right, JB. Donovan McNabb keeps on getting better and better. He's going to be really special in about 2 more years.
Bert Emanuel checking in at 2nd and 10 at midfield, and the give is to Lamar Smith, but he is driven back. And I was going to say, we haven't mentioned Warren Sapp's name all day until right now, and the loss of 3 yards against Smith.
They tried to pull from Sapp's side, and Chidi Ahanotu shut it down. Watch him. He's going to shut this thing down. They tried to pull. He just runs right by Ruddy, and Ahanotu stuffed it to the front side. There was nowhere to go with that one.
So Fiedler will line up in the shotgun, and they'll spread it out on 3rd down and 13. Fiedler looking up, drills it. Gadsden, he caught 3 on one drive early in the game, and he has been silent till now on a 20-yard pickup and a 1st down inside the Bucs 35.
Well, Jay Fiedler's hurting, but you're going to watch Oronde Gadsden, who just sits down again, just in that zone, and the ball took off on him. But Gadsden, who has very good hands, and we documented that earlier, he's going to make sure that ball is caught, so he body catches it, goes up and pulls it in. He doesn't trust the slick ball in the rain.
4 catches, 76 yards for Oronde Gadsden, bringing up a first down.
There's your 8-man.
On the 34, and Smith is tackled quickly by Nate Webster, coming back home after playing his college football at the University of Miami. The rookie is a 3rd-round pick. Webster, with a homecoming, makes a good tackle on Smith, bringing up 2nd down and 9.
You know, just their time that they spent together, both these teams, in the preseason. I think there's a little more familiarity there, and I think that's why we're getting so much jabbering going back and forth. Guys are flapping their gums a lot today.
Warren Sapp says we don't like each other, even though we don't play each other that much. 2nd down and 9. Here's Fiedler. He's got another one. 1st down to the 20. Tony Martin this time, and Ronde Barber defending. So they started at midfield, and the Dolphins are now down to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10.
While Jay Fiedler may not be throwing a perfect ball, and it is flopping around out there, it is, however, effective. And this is the 2nd completion in a row, this time to Tony Martin. And with a quarterback throwing this way, for me, I might change things up a little bit because it's not going to be that accurate.
Here is Lamar Smith making a couple of tackles, still going, and he's down to the 1. Oh, what a run by Lamar Smith.
Powerful, Dick. Powerful run. Ran right through John Lynch's tackle at the line of scrimmage, actually in the backfield. Then ran right through another one down the field. Watch this. Just pure power. Watch. Here's Lynch. There's the 1st one missed. There's the 2nd one missed. 3rd one just tripped him up at the end was Nate Webster. Good job of blocking on the left side as well, of just power football on the left side.
And this is the Dolphins' quarter. They've outscored the opposition 73-3. And a timeout called by Tampa Bay. That is the 2nd timeout called by the Bucs. And we're still in the 3rd quarter. That'll leave them with only 1 if this game goes down to the wire, and it has every indication it might. And Lamar Smith has 36 of his 53 yards rushing here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, Dick. The 3rd quarter belongs to the Dolphins. They've just been explosive. 73-3 in terms of scoring. But more than that, it's just that they come out, and I happen to believe that it has to come down to adjustments at halftime. You make the appropriate adjustments and you move on.
Well, America's favorite pregame show heads overseas for 2 days of analysis and adventure aboard the world's most advanced super cruiser. The crew of the USS Harry S. Truman welcomes JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris for a full weekend of hijinks on the high seas. The voyage sets sail this Saturday at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, and continues next Sunday at noon Eastern and 9 Pacific, only on Fox. What an enterprise to go over there and do a pregame show. Unheard of, really.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. It reminds me of the old Bob Hope USA tours, and our boys are over there taking care of the troops. That's excellent.
Yes. 1st and goal at the 1. The first offensive touchdown of the game for either team.
Yeah, but that was just pure power. Pure power, nothing fancy, just straight ahead. My big guys and your big guys, and then you try to stop me. You can see the power part of it. Dave Wanstad's happy, but I think that might be the first time I've ever seen a player go over and pat the mascot on the beak.
Orlando Mare with the extra point. Flag is down. Mare with a penalty marker down.
There's the ump cam. There's the touchdown into the end zone. Just the pure power.
There's no foul in the play. The extra point is good.
So the Dolphins' last 2 drives were set up by short punts by Mark Royals. They took advantage with a field goal, and now the go-ahead touchdown. Coming up short, allowing the Miami Dolphins to get a field goal and a touchdown, and regaining the lead 13-10, a lead that they had in the opening quarter. So the third quarter proves to be a charm to this point with 3:18 to go.
We showed you that power. Jay Fiedler is just everybody on somebody. Nice job by the tight end. Nice job by the fullback. Now here's the finite right here at the end. He's looking for somebody, and he wants to get excited about with. And so who does he go? He gets a beat to the face.
TD.
Oh, TD to Dolphin. Things are really not looking good down here.
Well, it was the 18-yard punt that set it up. 50 yards. And Smith with his 11th touchdown rushing. The kickoff is taken by Robbie Abdullah. And the special teams play coming up big once more for the Dolphins. Tommy Hendricks that time, and another flag is down. Penalty marker with 3:08 remaining in the third quarter. And the Dolphins up by 3.
Dexter Jackson is trying to plead his case, which means he's probably guilty of something.
That how it works?
Yeah, oh yeah. Not me. I wasn't at fault. And he got a point drill going on out here.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 34 during the kick return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
You might say his bubble was burst. You might. We wouldn't say that.
And there is Jackson, who is still on appeal here, it appears, with Joe Marciano, his special teams coach. And so the Buccaneers will start from the 11-yard line. So this season, the Dolphins outscoring their foes 83-3, and they have a 3-point lead.
And the side judges come in now, and he's going to stop things right here. He needs to speak to the official to straighten it out.
They want to get a dry football, and they want to mark it in the right spot. It has been raining steadily most of this game. We had heavy rains for a couple of hours prior to the game. Then it let up when we started, and then we have had these steady showers since. First down, Sean King, play action. King has plenty of time trying to get a receiver, and a catch made by Keyshawn Johnson on the throw behind him. Acrobatic for Keyshawn Johnson, and a pickup of 19, getting out of trouble.
That is a good call, and that's well done by Keyshawn, because what you're going to do is you're going to run away from everything, just run across, and a good catch because the ball was thrown behind him. The whole thing starts with run action, not play action. The run action, the difference is you really sell it hard and you come off the ball like you are running. And that is the difference. It's a two-man route.
4 catches, 41 yards for Keyshawn Johnson. He caught 4 last week. First down at the 30 of Tampa Bay. They got out of the shadow of their goal line. And here is Sean King. And King running. Flag is down again as King goes out of bounds. Chased by Zach Thomas.
Well, he's going to lose that foot race every time, because Zach Thomas can run pretty well, and he's still not 100%. His knee's still not right, or his ankle rather is still not right, and he needs speed for his game. He's probably at about 80%, but he's running well.
Another penalty against the Buccaneers.
Holding, 73, offense. That penalty is declined.
Frank Middleton, the big right guard.
Right up top, working on Tim Bowens. Bowens is just going to try to power him. Bad call. That's a bad call.
So it'll be second down and 13. Tony Dungy's Bucs trailing 13-10. These are desperate times for the Bucs, trying to stay in the playoff hunt. Handoff, Warwick Dunn. And Dunn is stopped from behind by Lorenzo Bromell, who had a sack, filling in for Rich Owens last week against the Buffalo Bills in the big win up in the cold at Orchard Park.
Zach Thomas is yelling at Carl Williams because Carl Williams came in and had to get a block on the inside back. and he's playing with that tough ankle, as we mentioned earlier. Generally, what a receiver will do is they're not going to hit you. Now they have to hit you high. They don't like to stay there. They'll get down around your ankles as fast as they can.
Got a lot of savvy. Does Zach Thomas. Third down coming up, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have used their third and last timeout. And Sean King is, I think, complaining that he can't hear the play being sent in. That seems to be the indication. But in any event, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with 1:12 to go in the third, are all out of timeouts.
Well, here's Sean King. He's going, hey, I can't hear. I can't hear, but you know what you have to be able to do? There's one thing, you know, you have that quarterback, coach to quarterback microphone and system in your helmet. If you can't hear, then you have to go to hand signals. You have to be able to get something.
And you got to keep a timeout left.
Oh, that's terrible.
Now that means the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, among other things, cannot challenge a play anymore.
The only challenge that can happen on their behalf would be within 2 minutes. Right. In the fourth quarter.
Tony Dungy, if there's a play that he says, wait a second, we want to look at this, they can't do it anymore. They have no more timeouts to lose. So this was a critical final timeout called by Tampa Bay. And there's Jacquez Green, a big play guy for Tampa Bay, and he hasn't had a sniff all day.
Now look, they're trying to keep, you see that? They're trying to keep the ball dry, but when the ump bends over, everything comes off his hat and lands on it.
3rd and 10. Sean King with loads of time, and he has work done on the sideline into Dolphin territory and a first down. He found the seam, and Warwick Dunn with a 23-yard catch and run to the 47 of Miami, where Brock Marion finally knocked him out of bounds.
Wow, this whole thing is set up because there's time to throw. They bring 4, but look at this. Lots of time. You can see the whole field, and he does. He takes his time, and by looking it over, he's able to find Warwick Dunn sitting to the outside of that zone, and the ball is where it has to be. That's a huge first down.
And the third catch by Dunn. A weapon all over the field. First down, Tampa Bay at the 47. Dunn now on the ground and fights his way for a gain of about 3. With under a minute and now 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. You know, it's amazing with the steady rain we have not had fumbles. People have held on to the ball pretty well.
Just jinxed them. Going to have.
You believe in that, Matt?
Oh, of course I do.
And you believe in locker room bulletin board things as we had this week on the Miami bulletin board?
I think that's ridiculous.
There's the overcast, the rain, and the lights on here at Pro Players Stadium. 2nd down and 8. Dunn, nothing there, no gain on the play. Robert Jones on the tackle, and that will be the last play of the quarter. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score. The Miami Dolphins 13 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 10. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. And we begin the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton along with Matt Millen and Pam Oliver here at Pro Players Stadium in the downpour. Tampa Bay starting from the Dolphins 45, trailing Miami 13-10. Third down, backpedaling and wide open is the tight end Dave Moore, who has been a quiet man today, and no one near him as Moore catches it and scampers down to the 20-yard line, and a gain of 20 for the Bucs. A big play.
What a fantastic call. They're going to bring the blitz. Moore's on the inside. He's going to block and then release. That is an excellent call, and it is carried out perfectly. Boy, he felt it. He rolled to the side, and he still laid it down. That's 2 major third down conversions.
Fourth leading receiver and a reliable one, bringing up first down on the Dolphin 23. Here is Warwick Dunn with a stutter step and a flag down. We may have a holding call as Dunn is stopped at the 20 by Zach Thomas.
Holding 64, offense. 10-yard penalty.
Former
repeat
Viking
first down.
Randall McDaniel, who along with Jeff Christie came over from Minnesota.
McDaniel is right there. Right there. I don't know. That's what they're going to call right there. See that hold right up on the top? They latched on. And the reason they'll call it is because it was right at the point of attack. Now, if the ball, that same hold had occurred to the left, away from the point, they'll let it go. But if it comes back where the ball carrier is at the point, that's when they're going to throw.
8th play and nearly 4.5 minutes in length. The Bucs with a 1st and 20 at the 33. Empty backfield with 5 receivers. Sean King has no one back there to block and no one to help him as he takes a big loss. Trace Armstrong got in there.
You have to be aware and you have to throw that ball away. Once he started to feel himself in trouble, you just heave it out of bounds.
13-yard loss, and that sets the Buccaneers way out of Martin Gramatica's range, and they weren't in good shape even then.
Well, they were looking down the field, and again, they had no help to the outside. Hegeman, Jason Taylor starts it. Once he dodged Taylor, that's when he had to get rid of the ball. See, there's all coverage over there, and he's not going to make that throw. Get rid of it.
Armstrong with 16.5 sacks. 2nd in the NFL, and there is Sean King under pressure and making the catch. Warwick Dunn still on his feet. He got the first down and gets to the 1-yard line in a sensational play by Dunn.
Warwick Dunn amazes me. He's their big play guy, and it's for the 2nd time now that they've gone to him here. He came up with a big play. 2nd time for a big play, and you say, how the heck did he get back there? And all he did was he got behind the safety, Brock Marion. Make sure of the catch. That's a good job also by the quarterback to be able to do that.
Well, he said that it's all on the shoulders of Sean King. And a 45-yard great play in looking into the wet. Marion prevented the touchdown. Robbie Abdullah has come in out running back, and he gets the call straight ahead for about a yard. So the rain has picked up. It is harder to see, and the Buccaneers threaten. And at stake today for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, coming in at 8-5. Right now, they would be a wild card team, but they can ill afford taking another loss. They've got the St. Louis Rams at home, and then they close in freezing Green Bay. So their schedule is nothing to shout about.
I can't say enough about what Warwick Dunn did out there. He was lined up on the outside on the safety, and he just beat him with those wide receiver skills. Fantastic.
2nd and goal at the 2. Abdullah remains in there, and they're going to blow that one dead.
That's going to be
false start against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it looks like Keyshawn moved a little early.
I think those pewter pants have gotten a little muddy right here with the rain that the Buccaneers wear.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 19, offense. 5-yard penalty, remaining 2nd down.
And it was Keyshawn Johnson. So the 5-yard penalty, and Matt, it appears as if the Buccaneers are shuttling in their wide receivers to give Sean King the play. That seems to be the pattern. Dunn is in the game now. 2nd and goal, the ball at the 7. And the pitch inside to Dunn, but nothing there. So the shovel pass. They tried it with Keyshawn Johnson in the first half. Dunn here, and Trace Armstrong making the pack. And they are shuttling the plays. Here is Carl Williams going in with the next play for Tampa Bay.
So now if there is something wrong with the coach to quarterback system on one side, then you have to shut it down on both sides. If it's going wrong, if there's a haywire, there's something haywire with Tampa Bay's, then it's required that Miami also has to not use it.
So we'll see what happens when they get the ball next. Meanwhile, 3rd and goal at the 5, and King is sacked. And a loose ball, and it was, I believe, down by contact. Let's make sure, and it was Jason Taylor holding on to the ball, but it'll be 4th down, and the Dolphins defense shutting down.
It'll be 4th down.
Shutting down Tampa Bay when they have 1st and goal at the 1. Brilliant defensive play by the Dolphins.
Well, where it is a brilliant play as you watch Jason Taylor, and they're trying to chip him, but he takes the inside hard. But what he should do is turn around and thank his secondary, because there was no place to throw that ball in the end zone. He had to hold on to it quick.
So Martin Gramatica, who has hit 1 out of 2 today. He made a 38-yarder, missed the 34. This is closer in at 30 in the rain to try to tie the game. And Gramatica's kick is perfect. And we're all even at 13-13 with less than 5 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter in a game that is living up to expectations.
El Sunday is brought to you by Toyota SUVs, taking you there and back. By IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. By Gap, holiday is here. And by UPS, moving at the speed of business.
And welcome back to Miami, where Warwick Dunn with a sensational 45-yard catch and run, but the Miami defense stiffened. Martin Gramatica's field goal ties the game at 13 here in the 4th quarter as Gramatica with a line drive kickoff and fielded by J.J. Johnson this time. Johnson returning for Miami. And he brings it up close to the 30-yard line. And we'll take a break right here. So much at stake, playoff-wise, between these teams. And Keyshawn Johnson getting a little emotional, unhappy with things, and Tony Dungy moments ago had to go settle him down, reminiscent of Terry Robisky with Albert Connell a few weeks ago in the Redskins-Eagles game. But Keyshawn obviously not happy. He's wet though, as the Dolphins start out at the 29-yard line. The ump cam in bad weather. 13-13 the score. Fumble and a loose ball, so
it's still going around down there. That's
recovered by the Bucs. So the first turnover by virtue of a fumble, and it's a miscommunication between Fiedler.
That's just a wet ball, Dick. I have to think that goes back to a wet ball, because you can try to keep it as dry as you want, but once that ball is put on the ground, it's on the wet ground, and then the rain's on top of it, and you just have to hold on to it. Watch Ruddy. The ball came up, but it was never held on to.
And Jamie Duncan recovered. Duncan with a 31-yard interception and return for a touchdown, and now this.
Right through his hands. It went right through his hands. That has to be because of a slick football.
So all 3 Dolphin turnovers occurred on the first play of a drive. It does again here. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of Miami, and now Sean King has problems handling the ball, and he gets up and gets about a yard or 2.
Well, the umpire is the guy responsible. That's right there. See, the umpire is responsible to hold on to that ball, and he's got to be able to keep it dry the whole time. Did the same thing. That ball is soaking wet. When the balls come out, they have a film on them, and before each game the officials have to get rid of that film and wash them down and then scrub them.
Well, that ball's wet already.
See, that's wrong. You got to keep that thing covered until they come up to you.
2nd and 7 at the 27. Handoff to Warwick Dunn. And you can see lost his footing, could get nothing, bringing up 3rd down, no gain on the play. Robert Jones making the stop, so the Buccaneers getting a turnover in Miami territory, but the question is, can they do anything about it considering the conditions?
Interesting though what they just did. They just saw 2 consecutive snaps that went through quarterback's hands, so they went to the shotgun snap so you can watch it and catch it, as opposed to trying to take it directly under center. And they're going to do the same thing here.
3rd and 8. The ball is at the Dolphin 28. And again, they go to Dunn on the handoff on the shotgun, and picks up maybe 2, bringing up 4th down. And so Gramatica is going to come on for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is 2 for 3 today, and we'll see how he does in the hardest rain we have had all day, and that includes the 2-hour downpour before the game began. Gramatica will attempt what looks to be nearly a 45-yarder.
46. Going to be a 46 right on there.
Okay, you're right. Mark Royals is the holder. And Grammatic's kick on line and good. So Martin Gramatica with his third field goal of the game. And of all the things Matt said at the outset that the game could come down to would be the field goal kickers. And Tampa Bay has made the lead 16-13.
But Gramatica gets all excited, and then he starts limping off to some of the Dolphins. And, of course, he runs right to behind all of his big guys.
Does Pee Wee Herman come to mind? Martin Gramatica, who's the third field goal of the game, giving the Buccaneers a 16-13 lead. All the points coming on Dolphin turnovers on the first play of drives. And this kickoff going to Autry Denson for the Miami Dolphins. And Denson with a good return past the 30-yard line, where Miami gets the ball again. A very big game, playoff-wise, and a day of emotions in this game as well. And we have a flag down on the field. And we'll have holding called against Miami on the return, and that will bring a good return back. Well, you can see the mic went out on the Bill Carollo's
holding 53.
Yep. It's been an emotional day here in Miami.
Shake. 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 Listen. Listen while I talk to you. I tell you what we're gonna do. There's a new thing that's going around, and I'll tell you what we're doing.
And Jay Fiedler trying to get it done with a taped up left shoulder. Chidi Ahanatu, who told the media this week our defense is better than Miami's, hands down, and wound up on the locker room blackboard. But it comes down to this, is Tampa Bay with 13 points off of Miami turnovers, leading by 3. First and 10 at the 17. Jay Fiedler with a play action will throw it, and Fiedler's pass is incomplete. He was going for Rondé Gadsden, and Donnie Abraham on the coverage.
Well, they did. McFarland was able to get some pressure on him and knock him around, and I'm thinking, you know, as a defender, you got to get him on the ground right now. You have to make him feel that shoulder. McFarland does just that. Also think you can't throw the ball long here. You have to be able to. Oh, the helmets were stuck together. Did you see that? Jamie Duncan's helmet was stuck on Lamar Smith's helmet. The face mask got caught together. But with bad weather like that, footing's a problem, especially when you're running routes. When you run them, I think you have to go with the short routes underneath.
With this weather, everything seems to be a problem. Second down and 10.
Lynch is up
at the 17. Fake pitch to Smith. And on the rollout, the pass is intercepted, and I think Donnie Abraham stayed in bounds, and he did. Turnover, and Fiedler throws it away.
He had Hunter Goodwin with nobody around him. Tried to make a play back underneath. And they're going to have to come back to that ball, but the guy who broke on it first wasn't Tony Martin. It was Abraham. See, he sees him, now throw the ball, and Martin's got to be able to drive that ball back, and he doesn't. Good interception.
So Donnie Abraham with his 7th of the year.
Watch back underneath. He's going to draw right. Well, back to the inside. Actually, it is better coverage on Hunter Goodwin than I thought it was. Lynch who held the coverage.
7th pick by Abraham, and the handoff to Warwick Dunn going nowhere, and Darrell Gardner, the big behemoth, right in the middle. Nothing there, and a loss maybe.
This game has been exactly what we thought it would be, Dick. Been dominated by the defense, and then it was going to come down to just who would make mistakes, which quarterback would make the mistakes, and Donnie Abraham was able to get that last mistake.
Ryan Walker picked off his 7th early in the game, so those two have the most in the NFL. Two more reasons why defense is the story here. 2nd and 10 at the 28. Inside handoff again to Warwick Dunn. Nothing doing. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Well, it'll be a different set of circumstances weather-wise, we know. And offensive-wise, as Minnesota and St. Louis in a huge NFC battle come up in Game 2.
Well, to me, it's going to come down to how fast that man on your right, Kurt Warner, can find his rhythm, because they've lost their rhythm. And then I think Warwick Dunn, not Warwick Dunn, but Marshall Faulk has not been the same Marshall Faulk. He's lost his burst. They need to get their swagger back, and they don't have it.
And their defense has been abominable. 3rd down and 10. Sean King with a lot of time and throws this one away, and a flag goes down.
That's going to be against. Warwick Dunn tried to cut back inside on Sam Madison, and Madison got a jam beyond the 5 yards.
So Madison, one of the best corners in the game, and if that goes against Miami, another 1st down for Tampa Bay.
You have 5 yards to make your bump.
There was no foul on the play. The mic isn't working for Bill Carollo, but we could read his lips.
Well, what he could say is that it's not a catchable ball, and so they'll leave it alone.
6:19 remaining in the 4th quarter. Right now, Tony Dungy.
I don't know if a catchable ball matters with the jam down the field.
He called it uncatchable, Matt.
We watch this down here. See, it's past the 5 yards, and there's the bump that they called. And the ball's thrown to the outside, which, oh, he was throwing it away. That's why they did it.
That's right.
Yeah, he was just getting rid of the ball.
And now going over to explain to Dave Weinstein, it looks like all communications has shut down. Both sidelines. We saw the Buccaneers sending in the plays via the wide receivers to Sean King. King is out of the game. 4th down coming up, and Mark Royals will kick. This is where it's important as far as holding on if you're Jeff Ogden, and certainly holding on to the snap if you're Mark Royals.
Watch it in, and you become a body catcher.
Game has been played in heavy rain, and it's increased in the 2nd half. Trying to keep it in play is Royals, trying to have touch on the ball, and it is down at the 1-yard line, I believe. Let's see where they mark it, and it's Floyd Young, and he stepped into the end zone. I think he stepped on the line, Matt, which is why it is a touchback.
Well, once it breaks the plane, no, they already whistled it down. Now Sam Madison's doing the right thing. Watch Floyd Young. Watch the line. It's right there. Okay, it's still flopping around.
His left hand.
His hand hit it, and that's a good call by the officials. He did everything right. He knew where it was. Keep it in front of him. Goes to get the ball, and then right there, I think that's what happened to him. And
he slipped, actually. That's why the left hand went over.
Dexter Jackson came in, and he tried to avoid him. He kept the ball in, but his hand hit the line, and of course that's going to bring it out to the 20. This is Floyd Young on this previous play. He does a fantastic job of almost getting it, but right there. See that? Once that hand touches and he has control, that's a good call by the officials. Comes out to the 20.
And a big call, because you give Miami the ball on their 1 in this kind of weather with 6:07 to go, down by 3, and you get an idea how the water is just coming off some of these guys' backs. Instead, it's the 20.
And rain on the roof. Lots of rain.
1st down at the 20 for the Dolphins. A win or a tie will give them a playoff berth in the AFC. Here's the pitch to Lamar Smith. And Smith with maybe a yard on the play. And, of course, play made by Steve White.
If you've been wondering where Warren Sapp has been all day today, well, we've been keeping our eyes on him because the Dolphins have as well. As you notice these pictures, you're going to see 2 people on him all the time. He's always going to be accounted for. And that's important, because what happens is somebody else has to pick up the slack. If you're going to account for Warren Sapp with 2, that means somebody else has to be able to make the play.
2nd and 9. Fiedler to throw, gets a rush, and the screen pass to Lamar Smith. And Smith driving toward the 1st down, very close to it, and may have it. Derek Brooks on the tackle. And the Dolphins may have a 1st down depending on the spot of the ball.
Well, if it was the 20, all I had to do is touch the front of that thing, and that's a 1st. Touch to touch.
First down, Miami. Called first by my partner.
Actually, I just made that one up.
Sounded good to me, and I run with it. Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay leading 16-13. The Bucs and the Dolphins each have won 5 of their last 6. Smith with running room up the middle and a big hole, and very hard to bring down. And it was John Lynch ultimately, but not before Lamar Smith picks up 19 yards and right on the edge of midfield.
And right, just straight ahead. They did a nice job. See what happened right there? You see this man right there? That's Derek Brooks. He jumped around the block, and by jumping around the block, you created that seam, and he just ran right up inside of it.
He only needed 63 yards for 1,000, and he's got 74 so far. So a big year for Lamar Smith. First down, the pitch goes to Smith again at the 49, and he charges into Tampa Bay territory where Warren Sapp meets him, and gain of about 2.5. So 1,011 rushing yards right now. Second 1,000+ season by a Dolphin since 1978. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1996. And here are all the guys led by Delvin Williams back in '78.
He's got a shot to go right to the head of that list.
I see Zonka down a few times. Second down and 7 at the 48 of Tampa Bay. They go to Smith. Smith is hit by Chidi Ahanatu for maybe a yard. It'll bring up third down and about 6.
Well, with the way their defense is playing, you're down to the 3-minute mark. You may not. Well, you will. You'll get the ball back because your defense is going to stop them anyway. But I'm wondering if you don't want to take a chance even here, even though it might be 4-down territory.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have been very strong in December and January, trying to hold on and win a big road game. Third down and 6 for the Dolphins. Fiedler gets time, and his pass tipped incomplete, and it was intended for Gadsden, and it looked like he had a shot at making that play. Covered by Brian Kelly downfield. And that will bring up fourth down, and Miami will punt.
Well, this ball is thrown where Gadsden can make this catch. It's up high. Ooh, you know what? I think Kelly may have gotten away with a little bit there. A little hand on the arm.
So the look on the face of Dave Wanstead speaks volumes, and fourth down, Matt Turk will be kicking. Carl Williams back deep. Good kick by Turk. Headed for the 5-yard line. The Dolphins will try to down it there, and they know it'll stop at the 1-yard line. Big kick by Matt Turk, and it drops at the 1-yard line. That went 46 yards. Well, Fox, Monday, it's an all-new Boston Public, nominated for a People's Choice Award for favorite new dramatic series. That's Boston Public at 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
So Dave Wanstead goes with the kick, and he's going to use the field position and expect that his defense can stuff them here and try to get on the exchange better field position than he would have had, which of course was at the 50.
All they need is a field goal to send the game into overtime. And remember that the Dolphins have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Tampa Bay has none.
So you're betting that your defense, now your defense is going to win the game for you right here.
It's won a few for them this year. Ball is at the 2. Here's Dunn. And Dunn gets a little running room out to the 5. And a timeout called by Miami. They'll also have the clock stoppage at the 2-minute warning. So here in week 15, the playoff picture. And we still have a while to go in the NFC as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to go 9-5 and solidify their position as one of the wild card teams right now. Minnesota clinched the playoffs, headed for the NFC Central time, so victory. So the Tampa Bay Bucs, and what a surprise this year was, because here's a team that went to the NFC Championship game last year, and people said, well, this year, Sean King's second season, could be the Super Bowl for the Bucs.
Well, and you know, I was one of those guys who felt that way, but you forget that they made some changes this offseason, as we showed earlier. Mike Shula on the sidelines in Miami. Les Steckel, now the offensive coordinator. Not only did he bring in, you know, another coach, but he brought in a whole new offense to learn. And you still have to look at what they have inside. They still have some pieces of the puzzle they need.
2nd and 7 after Miami's timeout. King will give it again to Warwick Dunn. And the Dolphins stop him and will call a timeout again. And 2:15 on the clock. Tim Bowen's putting pressure on. So now the Miami Dolphins down to 1 timeout. And Matt, you're absolutely right. Banking on the defense to stop them. Getting the ball back. 2-minute warning. Stoppage. Exchange stoppage. And maybe a chance for at least a field goal. Let's look at the AFC now. Dolphins, knowing that a win would put them in the playoffs, trying to stay a game ahead of the New York Jets in the AFC East in a wide open playoff picture, although you'd have to say right now that the 3 wildcard teams appear pretty solid. But
there's some good football teams there. There's still a couple of teams that are still alive tomorrow night. That the Bills are going to be playing the Colts, which is going to be a monster game.
Let's take a look at the remaining schedule for both of these teams. The Buccaneers play at home against St. Louis and then at Green Bay, where they never win when it's cold, but they've got to play there. The Dolphins play the Colts at home and at New England. So 3rd down and 7 from the 5-yard line. The Dolphins have only 1 timeout left. And the play clock is at 9. So they have time. Sean King with a screen pass, dangerous play. Warwick Dunn escapes a safety and goes out of bounds. Warwick Dunn spun away from a potential safety. Patrick Surtain could not nail him, and he goes out of bounds, forcing the kick, and oh so close for Tampa Bay.
Oh, man. Oh, Warwick Dunn is really a good player. Hey, for those of you who think he's too small and can't handle, look at this. Takes on Surtain, keeps his balance, still gets out there and gains some positive yards. I'll take Warwick Dunn on my team any day of the week.
Meanwhile, they stopped the clock because he went out of bounds with 2:08. And now Mark Royals kicking from the back of the end zone. Jeff Ogden is back deep. And a great kick by Royals. Ogden at the 45 gets to midfield where he is down by Don Davis. A great kick by Mark Royals of 53 yards, and our 2-minute warning with 1:57 on the clock. Warning, Tampa Bay leads by 3. Miami has 1 timeout left, and after a great kick by Mark Royals, the ball is at midfield. Olindo Mare, who has connected on 13 straight field goals, waiting in the wings to possibly send it into overtime. 1st down at midfield. Jay Fiedler, the quarterback, out of the shotgun, being chased by Ahanotu, and he throws this one away, bringing up 2nd down. Want to welcome the viewers who are joining the big one between the Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins. 13 Tampa Bay points off of turnovers. Warwick Dunn having a sensational game. Jay Fiedler, the quarterback from Miami, was shaken up and came back. It's 16-13, only 1 offensive score, touchdown in the game. 2nd down and 10 for Miami. And the pass and a 1st down inside the 40 to Tony Martin, and Miami looking to get in position for a field goal to tie the game, at least.
Real simple. They're just taking the inside receivers away, and they have them to the outside. Fiedler trying to speed things up. They have plenty of time, but they need a little bit more yardage.
Miami with 1 timeout left, and here is a fade up for grabs and nearly intercepted by Donnie Abraham on the pass intended for Tony Martin, and that very nearly snuffed out the last Dolphin chance.
For those of you who have just joined us, Jay Fiedler was whacked earlier on his shoulder, and since that time has not been throwing a very good football. He's had some turnovers, and he's averted one here, not because of a good throw, but a good job by Tony Martin of becoming part of a defender.
At stake here for the Miami Dolphins, a win puts them in the playoffs. They're a game ahead of the Jets in the division in the AFC East, and Tampa Bay trying to enhance their playoff hopes. Right now they're a wild card. Autry Denson getting the call, and the Tampa Bay defense closes up in a hurry, led by John Lynch, bringing up 3rd down and long. And right now, speaking of long, it would be a long field goal attempt for Murray.
It would be 53 from about here, 52-53. It's a big down, right, for both teams.
1 minute remains. 3rd down and 8. The Bucs, by the way, used up their timeouts in the 3rd quarter. And here is Fiedler with a big pass and a play good back. Arande Gadsden with the intended receiver, but he was pushed by Brian Kelly, it looks like. And it'll be an automatic 1st down for Miami, and they are in field goal range for Murray now.
Defensive pass interference, 25. Automatic 1st down.
Arande Gadsden on the outside. There's the jam for 5 yards. I'm sorry, I don't see it, Dick, because both guys are pushing. You get the jam, and then one hand is on one, one's on the other.
But it'll go as
Tough
a
call.
penalty of 12 yards against Tampa Bay, and now the Dolphins are on the Bucs' 24-yard line with 49 seconds and still a timeout left. And tough pass to Martin. I tell you, to thread the needle at this stage with Donnie Abraham defending is questionable at least.
Now see there, just naked like this, it looked to me like they got away with it. It looked like Donnie Abraham broke over the back, and he did. Yes, and to me that looks like more of a penalty, as you can plainly see, than the last one did. He hit him with his chest as he drove on the ball.
I'll tell you what, if you're in field goal range, that's a risky throw to make against a tough pass defense. 44 seconds, 2nd and 10. Pressure, and the pass is incomplete, and another flag. 2 of them go down, and it was Damian Robinson trying to cover the ex-Buck Bert Emanuel downfield.
Holding, 24, defense, before the ball was thrown. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
Working in the slot, Bert Emanuel right there. See, he was trying to avert a pick by Tony Martin. He's going to try to come under it fast. And he did, but in doing so, he got his hands on Bert Emanuel, and they called it.
And we want to welcome the new viewers to this exciting finish here, with Tampa Bay leading by 3, trying to hold on, and Miami with the advantage of 2 pass interference calls now down to the 19-yard line of the Buccaneers, trying to at least tie the game. Jay Fiedler under pressure throws the pass incomplete.
That's a flag and a good call. He was not outside the tackle box.
Grounding, right?
You have to throw the ball at or beyond the line of scrimmage and be outside of where the tight end to tight end would be.
And that's a loss of down, and when you're that in close to field goal range, any penalty against the Dolphins really stings at this point.
That's a tough call. It's a very tough call, and the first guy to bring it up.
Intentional grounding, number 9, offense. It'll be 2nd down. This includes a loss of down at the spot of the pass. It also includes a 10-second runoff. Please reset.
So you have to be outside there.
To 25 seconds.
And you have to throw it at or beyond the line of scrimmage. Okay, he was not outside the box. The ball was there. Now, the first guy who told him, and I started to tell you, was Warren Sapp. Sapp let it be known right away, and he got himself the call. He was very happy with himself.
The ball is on the 30-yard line now,
which is about a 47-yard kick.
And the
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.